Hey film fans, my name is David and this is Film Collector Archive, and today we're talking Second Sight films. Second Sight is one of those labels that is continually putting out really well thought out, well put together collector sets, limited edition collector sets, I should say. And the sets that I'm presenting to you here today are exactly that. They're really well put together for some really interesting films here. These are a lot more kind of hard hitting films that we're going over today. Some topics that might be a little bit harder to deal with. These aren't films that maybe you're necessarily going to watch on a regular basis, but I always say with my film collection, I don't know if I always say, but with my film collection, I like to have those titles that kind of knock me off my center a little bit. Every time I pop in a film in the player, I'm not necessarily looking for an easy watch. I like films that challenge my way of thinking, give me maybe a different perspective on life, or just other things that go on, and something that I maybe don't have an angle on. And in this case, these cover some deeply psychological subjects and complex human relationships and things like that. So I like watching films like that, films that maybe don't sit really well with me, but that again kind of challenge my thinking. So I think I have an array of films here. We have 3 sets that we're going to be going over today, and I think those fit that criteria of really kind of challenging the viewer. So first up here, we have a film with Gary Kemp and Martin Kemp. This is a Peter Medak film, and this is The Krays. So you can see we have a really nice cover here, and the back. We'll unbox these in a second, so I'll just show you really quickly. So nice rigid box set presentation here. And it says on the back here, from their humble East End beginnings, Ronnie and Reggie Kray became the most notorious figures in London's gangland underworld. From extortion to murder, their horrific brutality became legendary, and throughout the 50s and 60s, they ruled by fear until life sentences in 1969 finally ended their bloody reign of terror. Now, I watched the trailer and a scene or two from this film, and it's definitely one of those hard-hitting gangster films, and I'm really excited to see this. This is a blind spot for me. I had never heard of this film prior to Second Sight announcing it, and so I'm really excited to jump in on this one. And like I said, we'll unbox this here in a second. So here we have The Krays. Next up, we have a film. This is definitely one that looks at human psychology and relationships and some of the intricacies with that type of thing. This is their newest release, I should say, their newest offering, and this is in, again, a really nice rigid limited edition box set. And this is a film by Carlo Mirabella Davis, and this is Swallow. All right, try and get the glare off of there. And then, of course, the inside, and then there's some features to go over here as well. But I figure the synopsis on the back of these is short enough that I'll just go ahead and read through these. This says, a young woman appears to have the perfect life, but faces mounting pressure from her domineering husband and his family to play the role of the dutiful wife. Desperate to reclaim some control and identity of her own, she becomes compelled to swallow increasingly dangerous objects, which leads to a shocking revelation about her past. Definitely a psychological, very human-centered type film here. So this is Swallow, again, directed by Carlo Mirabella Davis. And last up here, I've kind of gone back and forth on picking this one up, and I wanted to grab a copy before the limited edition titles ran out of stock, which they do frequently with Second Sight being such a popular, or I should say they're gaining popularity in terms of boutique labels. So I decided to pull the trigger on this, obviously, because I have it here. And I am going to absolutely butcher the name of this director. This is a French film, I believe. This is a film by Julia Ducournau, and this stars Garance Marillet, Ella Rumpf, and Rabah Nait Ufella. And this is Raw. Now, I know there was a domestic release of this film, but of course, Second Sight with their presentation, I have to go with these editions. And yeah, this is one that I've gone back and forth on. The subject matter here can definitely churn your stomach a little bit, but I picked it up, so we're gonna watch it. All right, and yeah, so there's the cover and back. And I'll read again the synopsis here. Strict vegetarian Justine faces a merciless onslaught of hazing rituals during her first week at veterinary school. One of these is eating of raw meat, and desperate to fit in, she can't refuse. This taste of flesh not only compromises her principles, but awakens an uncontrollable craving with horrific consequences. I actually really like the cover here. But yeah, even just from the synopsis there, I can tell I'm in for quite a film. I've read reviews. Reviews have varied a little bit, as they do, obviously, with most films. But really intrigued to watch this one. The reviews that have really intrigued me have kind of shown the light on, again, just the deep complexities of the human psyche, and what I've repeated here like 3 times in this intro, just that type of film. It seems a lot more psychological maybe than it does being something that's just continually kind of visually grisly in what it presents. So really interested to watch this, and nice collector set here. So and also Second Sight shipped out a lobby card, or just kind of a thicker, not a lobby card, but just a picture of the cover here on a thicker stock paper. So I imagine this is just one of their store exclusives that they include in your shipment. So just something to note. But yeah, we've got 3 sets here. Let's go ahead and switch over to the other camera, and we'll get these unboxed. Alright, so we have a stack of 3 films here, so let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. First here with The Krays. Nice matte finish on this box, which I always like to see. And I also like it when the J card is easily removable, which is definitely the case here. All right, so go ahead, and if you'd like to, you can read up on the synopsis of the film, as well as take a look at the special features and limited edition contents. And yes, we get a nice rigid slipcase, perfect bound booklet with new essays by Andrew Graves, Neil Mitchell, and Shala Rowan Legge, and then 6 collector's art cards. You can see down here, this is a Region B locked release. As is the case with any of these that are region locked, you'll need to have either in this case, a Region B player, or even better, a region free player. All right, now taking a look at the set here, really striking kind of dark color palette here with the artwork. I really dig that. There is the spine. So the film was originally distributed by Universal, and then of course this is a Second Sight limited edition set. And then the back. All right, we'll set the box aside for a second. And here's our Blu-ray case. As usual, they use the black Blu-ray cases here. They don't use the standard Blu-ray Amaray cases, which I like because it really kind of sets them apart a little bit. Kind of gives the look of a 4K case, but of course this is Blu-ray. All right, and then on the inside, nothing to speak of but the disc itself, and there is the disc art. And then of course we went over the features on the back of the, or on the J card. All right, next let's actually go over the collectors, the art cards here. All right, nothing on the back, so there's the first one. A lot of great gangster films that have been made. I'm curious to see where this one will end up for me in kind of my overall ranking of gangster films. Because I've seen more than a few in my day, that's for sure. All right, so there is the collector's art cards. And last up here, we have a, not too terribly thick here, but a nice perfect bound book. Great artwork on the cover that carries over from one of those cards. There is the back. All right, so we have cast and crew, The Craze, The Glamour of Fear, Shall I Tell You My Dream, Billy Whitelaw as Violet Cray, Pops and Robbers, The Kemp Twins, The Craze, and The Cinematic Legacy of Gangster Rock and Rollers. And finally, acknowledgments and production credits. As is usually the case, we'll get some nice images as well as some great writing here. Nice full spread photo there. Flip through the rest here. So there we have the acknowledgments and production credits. All right, so put this one back together. So that is The Craze. Moving right along here, we have Swallow. And removing the J card, let's go ahead and you can take a look at that. There's the synopsis and special features, as well as the limited edition contents. And this one is also Region B locked, just so that you are aware. And unfortunately on this one, we did get a little bit of a ding on the box, which is never fun. But usually I do want to say these guys are really top-notch with their shipping. My guess is that occurred prior to shipment, because the sets, when you pull them out of the shipping box, are extremely well bubble wrapped, and yeah, not much of a chance of them getting damaged in transit. Sorry, and there is the back. There's our Blu-ray case. And just a nice simple disc here with the title of the film. Go ahead and adjust that a little bit. Because I'm an OCD collector. All right, and as we usually do, let's go next to the art cards. Yeah, the main actor in this film, she reminds me a lot of Jessica Biel. She kind of has that Jessica Biel look to her. Really excited to see her performance in this film. All right, and there is the back of the book. So we do have a perfect bound book here with the title of the film on the side. All right, let's take a look on the interior here. So we get film credits, an introduction from director Carlo Mirabella Davis, Swallowing the Fairy Tale, Control Alt Delete, exercising power through vanity and Swallow, Swallow and the Palace as a prisoner, as a prison for women in horror, and acknowledgments and production credits. So there's some cast and crew information, and then it's right into the essays. Here we have a great quote and image. A lot of great reading here. And this is a newer film. I think this was just made in the last 2 or 3 years. All right, so there is the book, the art card. Let's see if I can find the year here. Can't find the year right off the top there. But here we have Swallow. And last up here we have Raw. Yeah, another striking cover here, and that one was not even taped. All right, get focused up there. There's the synopsis, special features, and limited edition contents, and this is a Region B locked release. All right, here's a look at the actual box itself. Really great looking cover. There are the contents, nothing to speak of on the back, and then there is the spine. All right. And as expected here, just the disc inside. Hopefully we don't get anything too graphic on these cards here, but all right, so it's just those 3 cards. And last up here is our perfect bound book. There is the cover. All right, so we have film critics. Meat or Veg, digesting the film Raw. Julia Ducournau on Raw, and You Are Who You Eat, Cannibals on Screen. All right, this is where I might need to be a little careful. All right. Guess we're all right. All right, so there's the book and the art cards and the film. All right, so there is Ra, and again we have Swallow, as well as the Craze. So 3 limited edition offerings here from Second Sight Films. Thanks for sticking with me through those unboxings. I know sometimes these videos can be a little bit long. I do appreciate you watching. I feel like there's just a lot to show here from these boutique labels. I feel like they go through a lot to prepare these sets, and I just want to present these in the best way possible on these videos to just let you know exactly what you're getting when you make one of these or when you purchase one of these sets. I obviously think they are certainly worth your money. Obviously, if you have interest in the films, these are definitely the additions to go with. I'm very impressed with the work from Second Sight, and will continue to support this boutique label as they are producing such wonderful sets for us collectors. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite Second Sight Films release is. I know they've already got some new announcements. I know we've got Session 9 coming out, I believe, next month in December, if I'm not mistaken. And that is a horror film that I have not seen that I'm very much interested in. So hopefully I'll be able to pick up a copy of that. I think it's semi in the plans to kind of pick that one up immediately, but that might get pushed out. We'll see. But at any rate, stay tuned on this channel because there will be continuing coverage of the releases of Second Sight. And until next time, let's keep the conversation on film alive and well.